let's talk about the potential thing, because I think that's one of the things that relates them. That when you are overachievers and when you have done well in education, then it becomes very easy to push that push that onto them and make that an unspoken expectation, especially if they've demonstrated some form of capability. And that's where we get that nasty, nasty word potential. I want to rid your homes of that word forever, because that is like, you are constantly less than what you could be. And if you do well, there's no congratulations for doing well, because you're just being who we always thought you should be. And it hangs around a kid's neck forever that there's no possibility of excelling. There's only being adequate to the potential I demonstrated somehow on some test, or because I got the brain power of mom and dad. And it just doesn't ever go well, because it lends itself to this: you've got so much potential and yet you're ruining it because you're not, quote unquote, applying yourself, with what, I was always told, what so many of us were always told. So let's just stop talking about potential, because here's the deal. Potential is we base that on ability, but passion has to accompany ability in order for excellence to occur in one specific area. That's why we get so frustrated. My kid's so good. I made this mistake. My son, his golf swing is unbelievable. But if he doesn't like golf, it doesn't matter. If he doesn't like the sport that he has demonstrated capability, it doesn't matter if he doesn't like it. So if they don't have passion for this, then the capability doesn't matter at all. And sometimes our pushing on the capability, because of the quote potential, actually robs them of the passion that they have. So it's a tough job of parenting, but it is bedrock. My kids are not me. They're not an extension of me. It is not loving for me to project my experience, my expectations onto them. And you have been sold this lie by so many parenting experts out there that kids rise up to the level of expectations. And that is horse blank. That is horrible, horrible teaching, because what you're saying is they need to not pursue anything from within them. They need to pursue everything that's outside of them. And think about it. Do you do well trying to match up to the expectations of your parents, or do you do better trying to pursue your own inner goals? And here's the relationship. The more expectations my parents put on me, the more expectations we put on our kids, the less they have the room to discover what those goals are for themselves and pursue them themselves. I mean, I can take you to every AA group in the world, and there are plenty of people who are going to talk about the expectations that they tried to and still trying to meet up with. So what does it look like to let them develop their own goals? Get curious. And let's just breathe this truth in. Well, let's just ask this question. Do your kids want to do well? Just think about it. If you operate with the understanding that, you know what? No, they don't. They don't want to do well. They want to sit around and do nothing all day, right? That's not true. It is not true. Even when they're playing video games, do they want to get better? Yes, they want to get better at everything. And they know they have to go to school. And so many school issues arise because they're struggling, or it's struggling to meet up with what they think is going on around them. And maybe they've got some learning differences that make that more difficult, or they're struggling to meet up mom and dad's impossible expectations. And that's not fair to them. So our number one job is to help them learn to discover who they are as a student. Our number one job is to give them the space to become fully themselves. And this means recognizing, again, they're not me. They're not an extension of me. And as my daughter told me one time when I was taking too much responsibility and trying to help her pick her electives that would be better on a college application, blah, blah, she just said, "Dad, stop trying to make me into a better version of you." Yikes. And I thank her for it.